Well, this is my CERT phone, issued to me very kindly by the government of Jersey when we set up CERT. Use it for all sorts of things. One of the things I don't use it for is usually engaging with cyber criminals, but very occasionally one chooses to engage with me. So I'm going to tell you about this particular attack because it is a very straightforward, very operational, very day-to-day attack of the sort we see hundreds, maybe thousands of in Jersey. Firstly, I have a message on WhatsApp from somebody who I don't know. It turns out that individual has a lovely photo, and it's a young lady in a red dress with a glass of wine smiling at me. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm a balding, overweight, middle-aged bloke. It's very hard to just instantly turn away from that and say that's got to be nonsense. You do tend to look at the picture. So I confess, look at the picture. I then read the text message, and the text read, "Hello, Mr. George, my secretary gave me your contact information. If you have time, can we talk in detail about your office rent?" Now, that could be, what is that? I'm not Mr. George, in case you didn't get the name earlier, so definitely not Mr. George, and I'm not renting an office from this lovely lady. So is that a cyber attack? Does it sound like a cyber attack? Who would vote for cyber attack? Yeah, a few real cynics in the room, yeah. Bitten, hardened cynics that you are. My first assumption was that actually that's probably somebody working for like an estate agency who's just got the wrong contact details. So I reply back, sorry, wrong number. Now, has everyone here ever got a number wrong, contacted the wrong person? Yeah, I have. What do you do when that person says wrong number? Sorry, yeah, sorry, won't bother you again. You don't necessarily expect ongoing engagement. So the next message is, oh really? My secretary gave this number to contact George. Are you not Mr. George from London? Okay, well now I'm thinking that this is not the normal response to, but you can see it would be a plausible response. It would be easy to suck into that, particularly if maybe you were looking at the picture more than the words. So I reply, sorry, 200 miles away. I don't know anybody called Mr. George apart from one guy who randomly beat up my postman 20 years ago. Hopefully not the same chap. Have a good weekend, though. And I was assuming that if that previous one wasn't the end of that, this would be now the end of it. The response, I'm sorry, I think my secretary must have given you the wrong number. I hope you don't mind. Okay, this is clearly, there's clearly, so no one's going to continue to engage in this. So I said, no problems, good luck with it. Then I get the response, and this is where they pivot from just general engagement to trying to use compliments or encouragement to engage. So I'm expecting this. Thank you for your understanding. You are a kind gentleman. Acquaintance is fate. Where are you from? And the next thing you do after you compliment is you try and get that person to share something about themselves. You've got engagement. Now, this is fun. I sat next to my son, so I was showing him how these threats really work in practice. So I thought, well, we'll engage with this one for a minute. And of course, one of the things I want to do is work out whether that's a targeted attack or non-targeted. So I give them some true information. So I say, Jersey. Now, one of two things is going to happen. They're going to respond to that with something they know, or they're going to respond with a generic answer. Nice place. I'm from Ukraine and live in Zurich since I was young. Generic answer, it's a non-targeted attack, but it's still an attack. Let's face it, that lovely lady from the estate agency probably doesn't have a photo that accurately represents her. Yeah. So I reply, okay, this is sounding fun. I'll do something fun for my son. I say, yeah, nice place, but don't see much of it from prison. At least you can get a phone in these days. The response, no, I live in Zurich since I was 2 years old. So like, fine, let's see what happens. I said, they gave me 15 years to life, so I won't be able to see it, I say. Who gave you? The police, when they caught me, banged to rights. That's what happens when you sell dodgy double glazing here. Let's see if they're still playing. What are you selling? Windows. We can get you good finance if you send me funds to my PayPal account. Response. You seem like a boss. This is an engagement with an individual. He turned out to be from Nigeria, actually from Nigeria, as many of them are, and was less inclined to talk to me after this point, presumably because he had better things to do. But I think it gives you an idea of the sort of day-to-day just operational attack that goes on. Untargeted, probably just targeting a random mobile number. On the other hand, there is another type of attack. Actually, you know what, let's do a quick poll. Who thinks they would have spotted that? Yeah. You might not, because the ones that you spot are the ones that aren't perfectly targeted for you. But you might get 100, and the one that is perfectly targeted to you will be very hard to spot. So be careful.